Tell me everything you remember from Philly cheesesteak night.
It's not a night. It was a daytime.
It was a night.
It was a daytime incident for sure.
No,
it probably.
We were having Philly cheesesteaks for dinner.
No. I mean, weigh in the comments if you were there, but do you want to know what I remember or do you want to gaslight me?
I wanted to know what you remembered until I realized how trash your memory of it is. I thought you'd at least be able to like give me the base. Like this is definitely something where I was the one getting in trouble. Like everyone was like everyone got fucked up. Like as a result of this, that was the thing. You know,
was there
like
2 nights, so maybe we're.
I mean, maybe there is.
Interesting. Okay. Well, here's first of all.
I mean, maybe I'm totally fucked up.
Well,
because
that's what I'm thinking.
The adding in the Philly cheesesteaks was because I knew that they threw away the food and served tuna, and so I've been carrying that memory around with me for a while. You know, I mean, like ever since it happened. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that was like one of the Excel nights that was like burned onto my fucking consciousness. But there was a time on the Excel Facebook page that someone like mentioned Philly cheesesteaks, and I was like, oh yeah, that is what we were supposed to eat. That was tight. So that could have been like me taking the fragments of someone else's memory and like incorrectly repurposing them onto mine. So that would explain why, you know, we have equal confidence about two different things, because I am 100% confident that it was dinner the time that I'm talking about that I got fucked up.
You got fucked up. What do you mean by that?
Like, they yelled at me and the people I was with a lot.
Okay. Interesting. So I definitely think the Philly cheesesteak incident that I think of when you say anything involving Philly cheesesteaks and Jamie, it's a Jamie.
She was the one yelling.
One of her greatest hits, I would say.
Yeah.
Like when you do the 1 hour retrospective, when Jamie gets the Lifetime Achievement Award of Cult Leader.
Yeah.
Like short-lived cult edition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Localized. Like a local Emmy, so to speak.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. The Texas Emmy.
Yeah. Like this definitely goes in her montage.
Yeah.
It's for sure like the Philly cheesesteak incident.
Yeah, flipping over a thing of Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah. And I think to set the stage for
I just love hearing like piano music in the background as they like have the slow-mo of her flipping over a thing of cheesesteaks.
Like she's like someone who died at the Oscars. Like they're just doing like her best scenes.
Yeah.
God damn it, guys. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, I was listening to, you still don't know much about Pay It Forward.
Go for it.
But there's a classic song. You've seen Pay It Forward, right?
At Excel.
You saw it at Excel?
But not
during the big time era.
Correct.
Okay. But so you know the song at the end?
No.
The Billy Gilman song? Like,
I mean, I saw it then. I haven't seen it since I was,
it's like a child
in 10th grade.
A boy, like an 8-year-old.
Haley Joel Osment gets stabbed to death.
Yeah. And a kid who's probably Haley Joel Osment's age.
Sings a country song.
Okay. I think while Haley
this is the
is
Yodel
getting
kid?
stabbed to death. It's the Yodel kid of his time, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. That's who I was thinking of. But I haven't heard the Yodel kid actually yodel. I'm just aware of his existence.
Same
vibe, I would say for sure. So it's like a very high pitched, like beatific, like, and the hook is like, we need some help down here on earth. And God has to send us help. And because it's like things are messed up down here. Like Haley Joel's getting stabbed.
Yeah, dude, the 9-year-old knight with a knife was a weird thing for him to send.
Yeah, dude.
I have some notes.
You know what's interesting is Pay It Forward was a novel first.
What about that is interesting?
I mean, it's just like a person sat down and wrote that. I was going to say a grown man sat down, but
he gets stabbed.
It might have been a woman who wrote it. I don't want to gender the author of Pay It Forward. I don't know. I'm picturing Jay Moore writing it, probably because he's in Pay It Forward.
Yeah, I doubt that Jay Moore wrote it.
I know he didn't, but I'm saying like that kind of guy being like, it's time to feel my emotions, which is the lesson of Pay It Forward.
He had a
Kevin Spacey.
Jay Moore, who I do now know is one of the leads in Suicide Kings. He had a combative incident on the radio station that I worked for that I it's one of my favorites.
What is Jay Moore? Just go off on Jay Moore, because when did he become sports?
I mean, I think he's always been
Jerry Maguired out that hard that he like
a little bit.
He's just like, I'm also a sports guy.
Like, I think that it was kind of like that you know, he knew people at comedy clubs, so he's like, I can be a comedian. But like, you wonder if he had known the same level of people at like a sports talk station, if he would have done that instead.
It seems to be his preference.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is like, you know, it's like some people, it's like, well, I can be a big movie star if that's what they'll, you know, that's all I can get checks at. But really, some people are like that.
Yeah,
and
Jay Moore.
And he had like a regular sports talk gig for a while.
Right? Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, I never listened, but you know,
I've never been aware of like a
I'm
go-to.
confident of that.
Yeah, he's just always like around in sports media. You know, you see their promo. There's like Jay Moore on some shit, or like YouTube. Yeah. He's all over like YouTube recommendations, sports adjacent.
But yeah, the more nervous of the two hosts that I used to work for, his name is Bob, had previously had someone in his hometown, Madison, Wisconsin, had gotten fired off of the radio for using a shortened version of the word Japanese.
Okay. Got
it. Jay Moore, I don't know why he was on a sports talk station talking about Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
But one of the bits he was launching into on this sports talk interview was that he had been to the Pearl Harbor Memorial.
Jay Moore said this.
Yes.
Okay.
And he was like, and you guys will never believe it. They have fucking Japanese people at the memorial. I think at that point he wasn't, but at some point he was like, he's like, and I
gotta
just
stop you right there, Jay Moore. I mean, this is not that kind of program. I mean, what is he saying here?
Well, he was like, he gets explicit with it. He's like, it was all I could do not to flip him in the fucking water.
What the fuck, dude? When was this?
He's like, I don't know. It was the 2000s.
Get it together, Jay Moore.
And he's like, and I just would have
senators from Hawaii.
They would have put me on TV, and I would have just looked down that camera, and I would have just been like, it didn't feel right to me. And you know what? Every American male would have watched that and been like, and I want to be clear, this is all Jay Moore saying this.
Yeah.
And I think that it was at that point that he was like, I just couldn't help it. I just had to flip the overboard or something like that.
Jay Moore said that?
I think so.
Unbelievable,
God, I hope
dude.
I'm getting this right. But I think that Bob, he does not go like, hey, don't say that.
Oh,
he does not say that or anything, but he clearly does not like what's happening. Like, not in a dick way, but in he's nervous. It's showing that he's nervous.
Okay.
And so I think
rightfully so, dude. This is an inflammatory comment, man.
After he drops the word, I think that Bob says the words nervous laughter. Like, just he's like nervous laughter.
He literally says those words.
I think so. And then Jay's like, who's laughing? You haven't laughed the whole fucking segment.
Whoa.
He's detecting that he hasn't gotten full support of his audience for the use of this word, and really the general bit. And is ready to
blame them,
turn
Jay.
on this.
That's who's at fault here.
And I'm trying to remember exactly how the phrase works in, because I think that he's like, there's some, he's like, you haven't even been laughing, and Bob's like, I've been laughing plenty, play back the tape. And I think that Jay says, yeah, and anyone who did it, just hear a guy killing it. Because the phrase "alls I hear is a guy killing it" is certainly like integrated into the lexicon.
Yeah.
Both of the station large and certainly in my personal life.
Yeah. Fair.
I often reflect back on moments in my life and hear a guy killing it.
I'm glad you could. Yeah, it's a good saying. I'm glad something came of that segment.
Yeah. I don't know. You should listen to whenever we're done recording this episode. I'm gonna make you listen to the whole thing. I don't know I don't know why I talk through those stories on a podcast when the person could just listen. I wasted your time. I'm sorry. No, but the listener, I should have just said, go to the Unticket, search Jay Moore, theunticket.com. It's a website. It's a repository of bits from the radio station that I used to work at.
It's possible some of our audience doesn't even know who Jay Moore is.
Well, that's on them. He's a pretty famous guy.
I guess.
You tell me the lead in Mafia is not like
is that
well
his
known?
Big Dog movie? I mean,
it's not his Big Dog movie. It's my Big Dog movie.
Is he the lead in the movie Mafia with an exclamation point? Does it have an exclamation point?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. He's the main guy?
Yeah.
He's the lead? Okay. That's pretty Big Dog. I remember that coming out.
I love when that came out.
I was going to say,
I love that movie.
He's the third male lead in Jerry Maguire, I would say.
Behind the kid?
Yeah, I guess he's the fourth. You got Cuba.
Okay,
yeah. You got TC.
Yeah.
You got the kid.
Yeah.
And then you got Jay Moore.
But he's good.
Hey, he's great.
He makes an impact.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I remember him from, mostly. And then after that, it was mostly he was like kind of edging into sports stuff. Was he in the Great White Hype, that movie with Samuel L. Jackson?
I don't remember.
He might have been in that.
I don't think I've heard of that movie before in my life.
It's a mid-'90s gem. Pretty good.
But I mean, Suicide Kings did come out after Jerry Maguire, I think.
And Jay
I think it was like
that.
98.
Okay.
I think he's pretty. Okay. I think he's kind of. It's him.
Yeah.
Him and Walken.
Yeah. Dang, going toe to toe with CW.
I'm making it. I'm doing my personal dream board here on this podcast. I'm gonna get that movie screened in Dallas for everyone that's listening to this.
Suicide Kings?
Yes.
Okay.
I am. I'm letting you know right now. I don't have a date to announce. I haven't talked with anyone who owns any movie theaters.
Sure.
But I know them and I will.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't really know them. I know people who know them. That's true.
Sure. Look, let me tell you something. It's not as hard as you think to get a movie theater set up.
Yeah, because you practically run Alamo.
I mean, no, that's not true. And it's never been true with respect to Dallas.
Okay.
They're like, I don't know who owns. I don't actually know what is going on with Alamo in Dallas, but I never represented them.
Okay.
But didn't they just?
Did you hear they're closing the Big Dog
That's
one?
what I'm asking you. Like, I thought.
I mean, I think that it's just they announced here are the changes we're going to make so that we can stay alive. I think that all the Dallas ones are good to go.
Still staying operational?
Well, at least they weren't announced as the ones that are being shut down. But the 6th Street one, I believe, is going away.
No way.
I know.
That's
the big one.
It's interesting. Like, I think of that.
I could have that wrong.
As being like it's always been there. That's an Austin institution. Mm-hmm. But I think
that theater has. It's not like it's always been Alamo.
Didn't it open in like 2009 or something as an Alamo? Like, it's less time than I thought.
Yeah, I didn't start going to Austin for any length of time until probably around then.
Yeah. I think
my first time on 6th Street as someone who's over 21. Just first time on 6th Street period was the ACL that Pearl Jam played. That would have been 2009.
Okay.
Like October of 2009.
Yeah. I think that's around the time when the Ritz as it is right now, the 6th Street.
Anything that occurred before that, if you just told me that was opened up the day before I arrived or had been there for 100 years, like what the fuck would I know,
No, that's what I'm saying. I have this image of that is like, that's been there since 1973. Mm-hmm. But I really think I think
it's been a theater that entire time.
I think they like restored it or something.
Yeah, I remember, and this was something where the historical record really clashed with me because I recalled Granada being like just for movies when I was a kid because I went to movies there, but like I've looked at the Wikipedia and that's clearly wrong. Like it was But I remember it as like a shitty movie theater that they then put a bunch of money into clean up and restore and everything else, and turn it into the thing it is today. But then
I've only been there once, like to get drinks.
I mean, I feel like they
can't
had
even fathom really what's going on there.
in like 2010, 2011, when I was young, I feel like they had a good booking agent for a second. No offense to anyone who's booking it now whatsoever, but whatever. I feel like it used to be different. Like I saw Wu-Tang there. It's hard to imagine Wu-Tang playing there now.
Wu-Tang playing the Granada?
Yeah.
That is
It was a
you
wonderful
saw
night.
Wu-Tang play there in 2010?
Yes.
I saw Wu-Tang play Fair Park in 2007. Which seems more appropriate.
I don't think that they couldn't have gotten anywhere bigger, but that's what I'm saying. It's like the booking agent, it was just like, we want to work with this person. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't know the name of the booking agent. I might have these dynamics entirely incorrect.
Yeah, and maybe
I saw the
Wu-Tang
Hold Steady
was...
there. I don't know if you have a big opinion on them. I don't think you do.
Who?
Hold Steady.
Dude, I don't know, man.
I'm a big fan. I saw them there. Saw Girl Talk at Granada.
Whoa.
I don't know if you do that now. That was a 7-Eleven free concert, I think.
Okay.
I think you had to. I think it was on July 11th.
7-Eleven.
And it was something like that you had to get tickets through the 7-Eleven website, but they were free.
Okay.
It was great.
Girl Talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what's up. I never saw a Girl Talk performance, but I rocked hard with Girl Talk, the records.
I mean, if you ever have a chance, I highly recommend.
I don't know that the Girl Talk's out there spinning like that anymore.
I think you're right. I do more often than makes sense. Think about how he could just drop one tomorrow. That's how all the previous ones happened.
Yeah.
One day it was new Girl Talk.
Would it be on a streaming service though?
I mean, probably not. Some of them are, which I don't understand how that works.
I know,
but not all of them. I had to upload some of them to my personal
and
Apple Cloud.
I think they come on and off for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I just put all. You know how on Apple Music, if you add something you downloaded, it goes into the cloud, and you can now get it on all your devices.
Right.
That's how I have Garth Brooks. I did that with
right. I do that with my music.
Okay,
to
nice.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
On my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree.
But that's
the
quite a
last
strategy.
project I remember was whenever he made that album with Freeway, where it was just a Freeway album, but he had made all the beats.
Yeah, which is that's cool, but it's still a Freeway
I didn't
album.
listen to it.
Which
I don't listen to other
respect
Freeway
the
albums. I guess I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't really care.
Freeway voice, dude.
I don't listen to Freeway enough to have a Freeway voice.
You know him from the Kanye song?
I mean, I've heard
Two
his
words.
music.
That one?
I don't remember that.
The first Kanye album, the song 2 Words.
There's a song on the first Kanye album called 2 Words.
Mm-hmm.
I never really got into that one. Not the album.
It's
I don't
featuring
remember
Mos
that
Def.
word.
Mos Def is on it, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's they all start their verses by saying 2 words, and then they say 2 words, and then they go from, I guess they could have said 3 words.
How did I miss out on that one?
Yeah. Freeway's on it, though, because it's the funny era where Kanye had to put Rockefeller people
Yeah,
on his
yeah.
stuff, more, I guess.
Yeah.
So you get a song with Mos Def and Freeway.
Yeah.
Which is pretty tight. I don't remember what Freeway's 2 words. Freeway's 2 words might have been Freeway.
Oh, no.
You might have been 2 words, Freeway. But I don't know. He has a very high voice, though.
So, yeah, I'm just saying that Greg seemed to be indicating that he was kind of done with this, just doing the same thing.
Who's Greg?
Gillis. It's the government name of Girl Talk.
Oh, okay. I was like, are we back to cheesesteaks?
No. No, I think that, he did not want to do 20 of those and call it a career or anything.
Yeah.
That was my impression.
Yeah.
So I think the likelihood is that we will not see one, but I'm just saying people reconsider all the time. There's some people that have a lot of beef that have a reunion tour anyways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe it's tomorrow.
Yeah. Dude, I'm sure Girl Talk will at least DJ a few more events or something.
That seems safe.
Because some billionaire asshole is going to be like, I want Girl Talk to play my wedding, dude.
Could be us.
Could be. you know, I'm not having another wedding, I hope.
No, not a wedding, but like, podcast release party.
Yeah, definitely, dude. There are definitely songs where like I hear the little like bass line or drum click or whatever, and I'm ready for what the next thing. My brain is ready,
Oh, yeah.
for the
Yeah,
next
yeah.
sample that Girl Talk will put. Not
Yeah.
the actual song. I've never heard the song before.
Yeah.
I just know. I'm like, oh, that's a Girl Talk sample. Pretty tight.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember the first time I heard Girl Talk, I was at a house party and like someone put it on like in the background. And it was like, just sounded like, a regular, I guess like a DJ mix, but it was like really good.
Yeah.
And like, I remember as the night was going on, like there's a part where I think it's definitely a clip song. I think it's just the drums from Grindin'. Like it's like not like that deep of a sample, but it was like, it's that first one from like 2006.
Night Ripper.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, Night Ripper. The yellow cover, like the yellow Girl Talk logo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember being like, it was at that moment with the clips drums. And I remember being like, what the fuck is this, dude? Like, and the guy who brought it, you could tell, had been waiting. Like, he's just like, oh my God, dude. Like, it's fucking this guy, Girl Talk. It's like so many samples. Like, and like just had like a 5-minute spiel. But I was like, this is sick.
I understand that. I spent a couple years walking around waiting for someone to ask me about it.
Yeah, really? Yeah. I went and told my friends about it. Like, I was like, I got to check this out. Like, for sure.
I had a roommate. Whenever I got back from Rome, it was like you would have roommates for the most part for like the whole year, Like, but the Rome thing, whenever you're moving back, you're moving into a different dorm. So like you're whatever. And they initially didn't assign me one. And then like there was other people who didn't get assigned one. And so like we all had to like show up on a day and they were like, fucking figure it out.
What?
I know.
That sucks, dude.
I know. And like we were just the last two to say anything.
Damn,
like
dude.
everyone else was the first mover.
Yeah.
We were the last mover.
Whoa, dude.
And he sucked. I mean, like, no offense if he's out there. Like, he didn't do anything offensive. Like, he's fine. I hope he's having a happy life.
I'm going to say exception, though. You can't come on the pod.
Yeah.
Defend yourself.
Yeah. No,
you do suck.
Which, just let's just assume that applies to everyone. But
no, Jamie can come on. Open invite.
Jamie can come on.
Yeah.
But he was playing music that was not enjoyable to me all the time. Like he was one of those guys, and I also played music a lot. But I felt like I
Obviously,
couldn't.
it was enjoyable music though.
Well, yeah, it was good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like his, like I don't know, dude. He like
played stuff.
The really popular Cold War Kids album. He like wore that out. I think that thing blows.
I know that they're a group that makes music.
Okay,
but I couldn't pick them out of a lineup.
I don't know. It's just a lot of I didn't like it, but he put that on. I specifically remember hearing the Tiny Dancer and Biggie,
and James
Juicy,
Taylor comes in there around that time. I think with the Nobody Can Tell Me, which was an Excel joint for me.
Yeah.
It's like a pitched up James Taylor bridge.
Yeah, and I was like, what is
fucking
this?
Sick, dude.
And he told me, and I was like, hey, at least he's done one one valuable thing.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, that was a great record, man. The next one was good too. Those are the only ones I really knew. Feed the Animals.
Yeah, I mean, there's Feed the Animals, and then All Day came out a couple of years later. It was just as good as those two. It's the same stuff, and that's been it.
I didn't rock All Day as hard for whatever reason. I don't know.
Go back.
What
it's
it
good.
was.
I mean, maybe Greg is correct that like you
think.
can't just do this over and over and over and over. Like
There was a moment.
Yeah, it's not the kind of like. It would be sad if he had made 20 of those. I'd be bummed about it.
Yeah, it would become like the guy. No disrespect. I'm sure there's like 400 of these guys at this point, but you see it online sometimes. Like, all right, y'all, it's time for the 15th time I do a freestyle rap about what happened this year. Check it out. We had COVID, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's like, just kill me. You know what I mean? Like, it would suck if that's what he became.
Yeah.
Like, just like the top 40 with some oldies.
Yeah,
Whatever.
but he's had at least 10 years off at this point.
I wish somebody was doing something like it though. It is cool as shit, dude. Like I'm sure DJs are
Hood
out
Internet
there
still
doing
puts out
wild
songs.
shit.
Hood Internet did similar things that were also
Who?
good.
What?
The Hood Internet.
Oh yeah, I'm not familiar.
It was more often like full song. Like here's two different songs that we're gonna take and like the words from one and the beat from another.
Yeah.
But they would put out mixtapes where it was definitely like longer. But I mean, I don't know. It was good. They had some good ones. The first Hood Internet mixtape is very good.
We should get on
by
Ableton, dude, and do it ourselves. Make girl talk music, dude.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible.
I don't think it's impossible, but actually sitting here thinking it, dude, I do think it's a bitch to isolate vocals and shit like that.
It's never been entirely clear to me.
Like, if you can't get acapellas or, like, the stems.
That's what I'm saying.
I wonder, did Greg, as you call him, did he have access to fucking...
No way he did on the first ones, dude. Right?
I don't think so, dude. Well, so, I mean, definitely there is stuff.
And, I mean, if you're, like, playing stuff under it, like if you just ISO'd that, I bet the vocals would sound like shit. But if you play a beat loud under it and you can't hear like the stuff that he couldn't get out, like does it sound okay?
Yeah, I'm losing the thread already. Like, can you EQ out like what you don't want? You know what I mean? Like, if you're like the vocals are all this frequency, and then so just lose. Can you just like blunt force like anything that's not this is gone?
I mean, like between that and having the stems, like which one do you think that he did? Like, I don't know the other path. I don't think
he had the stems, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. The only thing he could have, but it can't be true for the hundreds of samples he used.
Yeah.
Is like, there are definitely, especially back then, I think, rap labels would release a cappella versions for DJs. Like,
I bet that he got as many of those, like, songs as he could.
Yeah.
But, like, he's not fucking...
And they don't give a radio station stems, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm
Steely Dan's not like sending him the masters of their albums.
Right? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's 0% chance that happens.
He'd have to be the hacker of the century to get all of there's.
So it has to be that he's isolating frequencies and getting
which is
lucky.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of the best. Like,
you're right. The getting the pieces is the hardest thing. If you gave me the pieces, I'm not saying I could do like he does, but it's not that hard to assemble.
Yeah, getting those pieces would be the hard part, dude. You would need like an intern to be like, cut me, get the top 40 for the last 40 years and cut me the top 3 parts of every song.
It would take some effort, but like, there's a difference between like, such a knowledge task it's impossible. Like I don't know that I could like whenever people talk about CRISPR, that sounds complicated. I don't know if I could do that.
Genes.
Yeah, gene editing. That sounds like probably.
Yeah.
I don't. But the other thing, like I bet I could figure that out. I'm not saying I could do it as well.
Yeah.
But like it just more sounds like it's a bitch.
Well, if you fuck up gene editing, you make the island of Dr. Moreau. Like, they're creatures in misery because you fucked up the way their phenotype appears. Whereas you just mess up a Girl Talk song, it's on the eye beholder anyway.
But I'm not talking about the stakes. I'm talking about the difficulty of the task.
Yeah, but maybe you can get into a flow state more easily.
I think that...
given the low stakes.
Like, with his thing, like, it's just that it would be a lot of work.
Yeah, it would be that.
Like, it's not like the work would be so complicated it would be daunting.
No, he's got a cool. It's got a feel to it too. You know, like I'm hit him with this one here.
Oh, absolutely.
Hit him with this one. You know,
that's why I say I don't think I could do it as well. But I'm just saying like the actual work.
Yeah. Well, I bet he listened to every 5 seconds of that like 2,000 times.
Yeah.
Like every 5 seconds got pretty obsessively poured over.
And I could see
how a party from start
someone
to finish, man.
Wouldn't want to do that a bunch more times.
Yeah.
Like I'll bet that felt more like work than your average album.
I bet the first one did not.
Yeah. But by the time he's done with the third one was like...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I do some other shit.
Like the first one, fucking awesome. The second one is just like massive flex. A guy being good at the thing the world.
He had some like EPs and stuff before that.
Yeah, but they, no disrespect to him, but
they're, you know,
It's not what
I'm not here
people
to say
were
they're
rocking
bad.
with him for. Is
I
what I'm
understand.
saying. Like it probably moves him more. Probably, you know, like the work with Freeway, he probably was like.
Some of it
finally, I
was
get
though
to do
just that
something
though.
different.
It was like just a more nascent version of what you know him for.
Yeah. I remember the whole. Yeah. But they weren't anything close to like.
They weren't as
what
good.
he had.
I mean,
Yeah.
he hadn't had put as much time in.
Yeah. Also, he didn't commit to the like idea, which maybe came with time.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like the full on like ADD full court press of just like, if you don't like it, just wait 1 second and I'll hit you with 3 songs. Like by the time you register that you're bored.
Yeah.
Like pretty tight.
Yeah.
For those 2 ones, the Night Ripper and Feed the Animals. Pretty sick, man.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes the Girl Talk
Yeah, and
podcast.
I wish he'd had an opportunity to see him in that situation. I saw him at a Palladium as well. Those are the two.
Okay.
I think Jake saw him like it was definitely a festival in Austin.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Greater Austin area though. I think it was like on a river.
Oh,
I think
that's
they
cool.
like set up a stage by a river.
That sounds awesome.
I think that's what happened.
He played many things in Austin while I lived in Austin. I just
You should
never
have gone
made
to
it.
them.
I remember one of them was like, my sense was it was going to be like mostly freshmen in college. And I did not want to go to like Girl Talk with like a bunch of 18-year-olds.
Whatever.
I mean, I know. But at the time.
I don't know like who you would want to hang out with in that circumstance but 18-year-old UT freshman.
Yeah, no.
Like I would pay a little extra if I could make it so the Girl Talk crowd was only UT freshmen.
Yeah. But at the time, I was like, that sounds so annoying.
I'm too cool for freshmen. I'm a law student.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't want to be around these,
Not a productive
people
attitude.
having fun.
Yeah, dude, that's what you're saying there is that you don't want to have fun.
There were definitely times when I knew that I was turning away from a more fun life, and I purposely avoided the chances to have fun. Have I told you about this specifically?
The RTJ?
Yeah. Like, I just, for the listener, turned down the chance to meet some heroes because I was like, it'll fuck me up too hard. That's
terrible. I mean,
I know, dude.
I don't know. That's never. I can't tell you a similar experience of mine.
I couldn't believe it myself, dude.
Yeah,
Like the clarity of just being like, I can't do that. I'll get too depressed. Like, it'll just be too depressing that I don't want. Like, these people are doing a thing that I think I could do enough to do it. Like, I'm not saying I could go. We're talking about the group Run the Jewels. Like, they opened for Lord at the AAC, like the last time I saw him. I'm not saying like, and no one can just say that they can do that.
I'm going to see him in a couple months.
At a festival?
They're the opening act for Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, shit. Yeah, okay. Well, that's an even stronger point, dude. Like, that's fucking sick, dude. I'm trying to be humble, dude. I'm not saying I could do that, but that is awesome. Was that going to happen like before?
Yeah.
That got rescheduled?
The weekend that we were at the lake, I told like you and Daniel, if not for the pandemic, I would be
That's where you would have been?
Alpine Valley, Wisconsin right now.
Damn, dude. Well, that'll be fun, dude.
I'm excited.
Who else is it just those 2 bands?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think there was some dates where they had like a third. It was someone I hadn't heard of.
It seems like if it's a thing where people are going to Wisconsin for it, they would have another one. Like, are they touring together or are they only playing like this show?
They're touring together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So why are you going to Wisconsin instead of...
So they're not coming here.
Okay. Not coming to Texas or not coming to Dallas?
The only Texas show is El Paso.
Shit.
And they are playing like the United Center in Chicago, but that's like a Wednesday, or it was a Wednesday. They rebooked it for exactly a year later, so all the dates moved. Yeah, it was a Wednesday at the time. It's a Thursday now.
Got it.
And, the gang didn't want to mobilize on a Thursday. But Alpine Valley is about 45 minutes outside of Chicago. It's like halfway between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Okay.
And so we just, good friend of mine.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's listening to the podcast. Shout out, Justin.
Shout out, Justin.
Lives in the South Loop of Chicago.
Shit.
And we were just like, let's Let's go up to Justin's. He's got a car.
Nice.
He'll drive us to Alpine Valley. It's on a Friday. Now it's a Saturday because it got moved to a year later. Good
Dude,
stuff.
that's
going to
be great, man. I watched the RTJ COVID concert on HBO.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, it was like...
Is it like on there now?
On the app?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I would think so.
I might go check that out.
Yeah, some sort of benefit or something.
Okay.
But it was great. It was, mostly, I guess, the new record. Dude, I wonder what Rage hits you with, on their set list. Like, have you seen Rage live before?
Absolutely not.
I haven't either. I know nothing about, like, the live Rage experience.
I mean, they put out that live album.
Yeah. At the end of
live
their
at the
run together.
Grand Olympic Auditorium.
Yeah.
And they had I remember, this was such a fucking, I mean, I was a shithead that was about to get sent to a school for shitheads, so what more did you expect from me? But I really wanted to see their concert DVD. They put out the Battle of Los Angeles while you were at Excel.
Right. I don't fuck with that album. That's basically what I'm getting at. Is like, do you think they're hitting you with a lot of Battle of Los Angeles?
I love that album. I bought it when it came, like the day it came out.
Yeah. I'm sure I would have loved it.
I learned how to play the songs on bass. I had a bass.
Damn, dude. So you're like Timmy. Was their bassist.
Tim Comerford. Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Simmer and T.
Okay.
So
I got it after I left Excel. I remember I was like, oh, sick. I'm catching up.
Yeah.
Time for Rage. Yeah. Let's see and then just being like, oh, okay. Like, it was like,
I don't know.
The moment it passed for me.
I hear that.
It was like
it was like I was saying about that Korn album that they put so much work into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like an angry.
I'm sure I would have liked it if I
kind
could
of
have heard
music.
it in 2002, but I listened to Korn's music and much more so Rage today, but like it is just connecting with that person to some extent,
Yeah, definitely.
Like I don't know how I'd be able to. I mean, I think that if Rage put out a new album, I'd probably listen to it quite a bit.
I liked when Zach De La Rocha rapped on the RTJ songs.
Oh, of course.
I mean, that was sick.
Yeah.
I think there was a rumor that he was going to do an album with LP Beats, which would have been sick.
That would have been sick.
Still could be, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe on tour.
Maybe.
Or they'll probably do something. Anyway,
dude,
that'll be a lot of fun, dude.
I bet they'll play the song.
I'm sure. I would hope so.
I hope so, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not. I don't know. Would you be like resentful at having to come out for the opening act song every night, dude? Or would you be like, fuck yeah?
I think that you'd be pretty excited to perform with them. Like, he's got to like them. Like, it's such a high energy show.
Yeah.
Run
They're
the
all
Jewels.
tight. Yeah. Definitely.
If it were me, any opportunity to be involved in that, I wouldn't approach it like a opening act wants me to do shit. It would be a fucking, and fuck, dude, maybe they do it for the Rage set. Like, fucking.
Have them come out for the Rage set?
Yeah, Tom had
cool.
something on guitar.
That could be cool.
He could come up with something.
For sure. I wonder if they have like hard feelings about like Audio Slave happening and all that, or if it's water under the bridge.
I mean, I do, dude. Chris Cornell fucking blows.
Whoa, come on. Hey. Whoa.
Everything he's on, he's making it worse.
Dude, that's not true, dude. Come on, man.
It's obviously true.
Dude, put some respect for the dead, dude.
I know that other people have different opinions, like most people. Like, I can't recall a time I've given out this opinion that someone else has been like, great point.
But it's not going to happen tonight.
But it's the truth,
No
like,
way,
I'm bound. My hands are tied, dude. I just have to give you accurate, quality opinions. I don't have another choice.
No way, dude. What about... You like the movie Collateral?
With Jamie Foxx?
Yeah.
I saw it at Excel. I don't really remember it.
Oh, dude, you should. There's a great Chris Cornell moment in that movie. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay, well, look forward to it.
I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a great movie, dude. I highly recommend it.
I remember like a shooting in a club.
Yeah. Definitely. Very cool scene. Yeah. It's a Michael Mann movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's a cool movie, man. But there's a part where, like, because Tom Cruise is in it.
I've forgotten that.
Yeah,
but
Tom
go
Cruise
ahead.
is fucking sick in it, dude.
Okay.
Because he's an animal, like he's a killer. And then, like, randomly,
I'd like to see Tom Cruise as a killer.
Oh, dude, it's great, dude. I don't want to spoil this Chris Cornell moment for you, actually.
We watched A Few Good Men this week.
Yeah? Nice, dude.
It's a great time.
Dude, my wife refuses for some reason. Anytime I want to watch it, she's like, she never wants to watch it, dude.
I always
Probably
want to
because
watch
I'll
it.
be like, this is an Excel movie. We watched it. Like, I'll just talk throughout it about how. Because do you associate with.
No, I never saw it there.
You don't associate A Few Good Men with Excel. There are people listening to this that would lose their minds. Dude, we would watch A Few Good Men
I'm not doing it for
at
them.
least every other weekend. I am, dude. I ride for them. That's my era, A Few Good Men era. We watch it. That's how I had to do the Jack Nicholson impression during the fucking dinner theater. That's how I had a Jack Nicholson impression, was from us watching A Few Good Men and As Good as It Gets.
They let you watch As Good as It Gets? I would have loved to watch As Good as It Gets there.
Dude.
I mean, I did once, but like I would have liked to see it more. I like that. That movie meant a lot to me as a child.
That's weird, dude. I didn't like it at Excel, but that's the only time I saw it.
I mean, it's one of like the few portrayals of like a depressed,
Yeah.
It's not like they never put people like Jack Nicholson's character in movies, but like it's not all movies have someone like him. And like I looked at that guy and was like, finally, representation does matter.
I mean, I guess. I see what you're saying, man. I think this was during the era of like.
But just the titular scene.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah,
you can say it if you want.
No, I think everyone knows what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, like that, like, you know, I could ruminate in my room for a while thinking about that. Like that was what I was into as a 14-year-old being.
Yeah. No, I respect that. I felt like that was like they would do this so much. It was a smaller school, so it was like they would be like, that you're like this guy, you're a dickhead. Like, you know, the way they would also be like, you're like Kevin Spacey and Pay It Forward. Like, just whoever on TV was being a dickhead. So I actually associate it with being like, yeah, I guess I'm also not positive all the time, but I don't relate that hard to Jack Nicholson in this movie.
Well, that's fine. We're not the same person.
No, I know, but I'm saying my experience at Excel was having to like sit there, and they would put that on a lot, and I would be like, "Well, he's a huge asshole to Greg Kinnear, first of all, like right? Greg Kinnear gets like the shit beaten out of him.
He does,
and if I recall correctly, he just makes a bunch of homophobic jokes. Is that correct?
I think he stops when he gets the shit beat out of him. Like, not entirely. Like, he makes one again.
And then he learns to not be a dickhead. See, I can relate to that, dude. I like that.
Yeah. No, I you know, like, so after, like, when he gets the shit beat out of him, Cuba Gooding back in it.
I forgot he was
back
in
into the podcast.
Yeah.
He's, like, there, like, you know, like, collecting Kinnear's things, and the dog, like, there's no one to watch the dog. And so they're like, he's like, Nicholson, like, he tells him to watch the dog, and Nicholson's like, not a fucking chance.
Classics.
And then Gooding fucking flips out on him, and he's like, you will fucking watch this dog. He's like, all right, I'll watch the dog.
Okay.
And then, like, that kind of, you know, like, opens his heart, you know. He finds out that he likes the dog a little bit.
That's nice.
And then he's talking with Kinnear, and because Kinnear got fucked up, has to, like, have someone drive him somewhere.
Uh-huh.
I think to like go see his parents to like
ask
I
remember
for money.
that scene, right? They listen to the oldies.
Well, I mean that's like it's not a scene; it's like half the movie.
Oh, okay.
But yes, there's scenes of them driving.
Yeah.
And somehow the waitress gets looped in.
Is that Helen Hunt?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also on the trip.
Does she get drawn naked in that movie?
That's a great question. Yeah. Kinnear does.
Kinnear draws her naked.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But you ever listen to Dirt Nasty? You big Dirt Nasty guy?
No.
Just 1980 samples Nicholson in that movie.
Okay.
I don't think I'm allowed to say the line.
Wait, I don't even what?
Like the do you know who Dirt Nasty is?
No. Is it a guy?
I never remember what his like. He's a famous like reality star.
Okay.
Shithead, like MTV or something. My
Okay.
phone's up there. Can you Google Dirt Nasty?
Are you serious?
No, I'll do it.
I'll
I'm doing
fucking do it.
It's just this is fucking. This is not a. You might not even know him, anyways. I don't know why I'm doing this. Simon Rex.
Oh, I know Simon Rex. Dirt Nasty. Oh, dude. Sorry, I'm sending a text message. I just got a message that somebody is okay.
That's great news.
There was a shooting somewhere.
Did they get shot?
No, but I guess they were by the shooting. Glad he is okay.
Do you care about this as much as the person texting you thought that you did?
I'm sure, dude. Well, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's like you see something like this on the news. There's something that makes you text like somebody. It's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, glad he's okay, dude. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to be cynical about it.
Okay.
Dirt Nasty did the song with fucking Mickey Avalon, dude.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, I remember when Mickey Avalon was popping. I remember that. I lived with a guy that thought that was the funniest thing of all time. He was constantly like making people watch the video. Yeah.
Well, he was right.
Yeah.
And
Call Me Mr. Right. That was part of the song.
There's a similarly good video for the song 1980 that like repeatedly plays the I think it's whenever I think that it's he might say it to Cuba Gooding whenever he's about to foist the dog on him. I might be wrong about that. But he just says, "What happened to your party friends?" Except for he uses a gay slur in front of party friends.
Oh.
So you just play that line repeatedly throughout the song.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's not what we do here. Dude, that's messed up, Simon Rex. I'm not, no. I thought you were suggesting
That's
you were
your
about
opinion.
to play it, dude.
No.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not trying to like shame Simon Rex, dude, but I thought he was like in gay films. Like, maybe that's.
I mean, I don't like. I feel like the way that they're sampling it, it's like this is tight. Like, I want to go to some gay slur parties.
Oh, okay. I can get with that then. Reclaiming it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
Like Nicholson's not.
Okay,
like in the
yeah.
context of the movie, he's like making fun of their lifestyle. But whenever you play it like in that song with those words, and it's like. Sense. Yeah, dude. What happened to your fucking party friends? Bring them back around.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. That's basically what we did with the In the Navy dinner theater.
100%. 100%.
It's the exact same vibe.
So I want to talk about Philly cheesesteak night, but we can just do a dinner theater episode tonight if you would like to.
No.
I mean, we need to do a dinner theater episode at some point.
But I think dinner theater needs a big. There's a lot of precursors to dinner theater.
It needs a full episode.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
I agree.
Yeah. It shouldn't be this one. We can. I mean, how much time do we have?
That's a great question, but I would say if we go by our previous standards, which I don't object to, we would have 3 hours to talk about dinner theater. So, don't tell me that, it's a big topic. We can't talk about it. Go on about Philly cheesesteak night. I mean, I want to talk about Philly cheesesteak night.
No, I don't think we've established if it's a night or not. Because this is what I
want to talk about the night, but, like if there was another time, I also want to talk.
We got to figure out.
We can talk about that.
I don't think cheesesteak.
So I think the only way we can is by you just go through what you will call it to be.
Many times.
Many times? That's a lie.
I'm ready when you are.
We recorded it. Don't give me this bullshit.
Keep going. Tell me more about how the best way forward is. What is it?
You have the floor.
That's all I'm trying to figure out, dude, is like, okay, I think we could have gotten fucked hard enough at lunch that the whole incident lasted long enough that as part of its denouement, I don't know how to...
the thing I'm talking about, I have no problem fitting the pieces together in a way that it demands that it was an evening thing. So you just tell me about your memory.
I have some, I have some crucial questions.
It's probably a different night.
No, I don't dude, let me get to that. But this is what I'm saying. I think Jamie could have fucked us up hard enough at a lunch that part of that whole event as we're winding down, so to speak, that's when I realized I didn't know how to pronounce the word I was trying to say. But like as we're winding down, we ended up eating tuna fish that night. So I'm not saying the sun was up for the whole incident, but I'm pretty sure it was a lunch, and I have several reasons why, if you want to hear them.
Well, I want to hear, why were we in trouble?
I don't fucking remember. I have zero clue. You seem to think.
Well, then how are we going to be able to resolve this?
Because to me, that's not like very important. But
there's been plenty of stories where we kind of hand waved about exactly what they were mad about. But like in this particular one, what they're mad about is like the whole story for me. So
then it feels like maybe you should have the floor.
No, but I want to get to the bottom of this first. So go on with how you're sure it's lunch.
Cheesteak wasn't really a dinner meal. It was a lunch meal.
I disagree, but go ahead.
Definitely. Because
you think there was 0 times that they served cheesesteak for dinner? Okay.
Of course not.
Okay. Well, then
this was early in the days of cheesesteak. That's why it was such a big deal and so disruptive that is the meal that got disruptive. There would never be an incident.
Then it has to be different because this wasn't that early in it. It was Hack making the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, we can say him. He's dead.
Yeah,
right?
But it wasn't the chef who worked before him that we can't say because he's alive.
I guess. I don't know. But
you know what I'm talking about?
Jake Hack was, everybody thinks that they were the first person to run the kitchen, so to speak.
I know who it was running it whenever I showed up.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But you do.
I mean, I'm sure I know the person, but I'm saying, so when I got there, there's like 500 people that have run the kitchen. And the quality really got stepped up with Jake Hack, I'm telling you. Jake came in, he knew how to make the pizzas good.
I feel like the guy that was there wasn't bad.
I'm sure, dude. But
I thought you said that it used to suck.
It did when I first got there. It wasn't a guy that I'm talking about that ran it when I first got there. I know. It was a lady. Or like a 19-year-old girl, I guess.
But you're giving all the credit to Hack, which Hack deserves a lot of credit.
Hack
He's an incredibly fucking talented chef.
I'm not disrespecting whoever Hack's. I think I'm now getting who Hack's predecessor.
But I think he did a fine job.
Yeah. I think Hack also helped a critical mass of like more money was coming in because there were more kids, and then eventually Aspen. And the new kitchen had just basically been built. Like Hack got there probably in the fall, right after the new lodge, like the lodge had been redone. I bet like fall of 2000. Because I remember he was singing the Bling Bling song. So it was after that song had come out, which was definitely, I was at Excel when that came out. But I think so that was like 99, right? Like, I
don't know.
I mean, it's fuzzy for me because I was at Excel, but that's early. Like, I think he was there before the year 2000. So I'm not like, I think he first started helping in the kitchen, and then he was like, because he was very, very early. Like by day 2, he knew what was going on. He was a pretty astute guy. He was very intelligent and very observant, I think. And I think he kind of like, I felt this too. When I ended up at Excel, I was like, the jig is fucking up, dude. Like, the next thing is getting out of here. Like, let's just try to have smooth sailing.
Kind of.
I mean,
he didn't.
No, I'm saying when he first got there.
Okay.
He immediately was like, I'm going to be Dino's best friend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to tell Jamie I want to help out and do the right thing. He said all this stuff. And because I remember being surprised that Jamie, this was another one of my early moments when I was like, the old Jamie would have seen through this because some of it was transparent. This dude's trying to have an easy time here. And I was like, I can't believe she's trusting him this much. And I remember literally being like, he got some responsibility quick. Like within like 2 weeks, he was like running the kitchen out for a weekend meal or something. And I remember being like, are you sure about this? Like, because she was like, and she was like, some guys just get it that fast. But I now, in retrospect, think she also recognized this dude is trustworthy enough in that he seems to have ascertained his self-interest to align with what I want him to be like. And he did very quickly become like an enforcer asset for her.
See, that's what I was going to say is
Definitely.
that, you know, like it's in her interest to go along with him because he was physically large.
Yes, and that he was part of the restraining crew.
Yeah.
For sure.
You want to talk about restraining? Have we talked about restraining?
I mean, I think we have throughout this podcast, but
I know we've mentioned the word.
So to me, the era of restraints is around that time.
I mean, just your story on the origins has always blown my mind, and I thought to be an important document.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we can jump into that, like, because it was around, like, so I got there in March of '99. And a lot of what we go back and forth about is like, when did this school become what it was, so to speak? When was like...
Yeah, you know, the answer is it was always becoming something.
For every kid, it was when you got there and when you left.
Yeah,
like that was your era, you know. But like, I do feel like because we were there so long, we saw really weird different eras.
I think between you and I, we comprised like what?
Almost all of it.
90%?
Yeah. And so we see big turning points, I think, or things that appear to be turning points to me and to us. And so one of them is the routine use of physical force against children, like in the guise of restraining them. But to even use that verb, I think, is it's a loaded verb that presupposes that the subject of the verb, or I guess the object, because this is not a person treated as like a human subject in these instances, is doing something that requires restraint from an outside force, which was not the case in almost any of these instances.
Yeah, I don't know, man. My memories get pretty fuzzy.
Yeah, well, the early restraint era, I'm telling you, it definitely was not, because the origins bear it out, that it wasn't like an imminent danger kind of deal. What it was like, as the school got bigger, so the school went from the year 99 to like 2000, probably like 15 guys to 30, 35 guys, something like that. Did you say you were like the 35th guy when you showed up?
It was in the 30s.
Something like that. Okay, yeah. So it's
I don't remember if we circled back to this. It was confirmed to me by like people have been reaching out. The most the school ever had in total was 215. So I must remember being the 200th like total student, and I think the figure was confirmed to me like 60 girls. So like 140 guys,
okay.
60 girls.
Okay, wow, it's quite a ratio. Well, wow, I'm glad we corrected that. So it
roughly 1/3.
So it was a lot smaller when the restraint issue bubbled up, but it had still recently doubled in size. But it was still a relatively small place. But they had a senior former student. I say senior staff. He was like in his early 20s. But there was a former student who was on the staff who was big as fuck. He was like 6'4", probably like 220. Like, I think had played football. Like, definitely the biggest guy there. Like, no problem. He could take probably the two biggest kids. Like, and then he was there all the time.
They should arrange that.
They should what? They should what?
Arrange that.
Oh,
Take some action.
Dude, I mean, I remember one time I told him I thought I could get him knocked down off his feet. Like, because he would arm wrestle kids all the time. And,
you're a lot smaller than him, right?
So much smaller than him. But I was like still learning how much that mattered, because I was only 15. And so it had only been a year, 18 months beforehand when I could basically fight anyone in my grade. Like in 8th grade, I could fight anyone in my grade. Like, I'm not saying...
So you were normal height growing up?
No, I was small, but it was like...
It just wasn't that big a difference.
It didn't matter that much until people start getting man strength.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like becoming over 6 feet tall. And then it's like, dude, there's a whole class of men that can fuck me up like at any time. And I was like realizing that in high school as I was getting sent to Excel. Like... one of the last fights I ever got in, I mouthed off in a 3-on-1 situation. And like, it depends on how the judges are scoring the fight. I would say if you don't leave your feet in that situation, that's at least a draw. You know what I'm saying? But I think they scored it as a win in their column, and they had good reasons. But that was me figuring that out too. It's like, you will be in pain for a week or more. Like if a guy hits you in the chest hard enough, like, and that's when I was like, I think I've alluded to this. When I got to Excel, I was like, I don't like it here, but it is time to calm down.
Yeah.
Like, I did not want to go back to like the New Jersey environment of like hooliganism, which, I'm not saying we were like, gangsters or whatever. It was just like learning that you can't just talk shit and just be like, well, we'll have a little fight and that'll be it.
Just imagine if it hadn't been the wealthy suburbs.
No, yeah, I get you. I mean, definitely. And then you're putting me in a position where I feel like I have to defend myself by being like, the kids who jumped me were poor. But that feels like
I'm pretty sure if I called up the Trenton High School students and told them where you went, that they would not have deep respect for the level of hardness.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I don't know, dude. I mean, what, going to Excel or going?
No, Princeton High School.
Oh.
If I told the kids from Trenton, we got a Princeton High School kid coming by, you think he can take you? What do you think they're saying?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, I get the point that you're making. Maybe this is where you're getting at. A lot of these kids were from Trenton, dude. They would just like...
But they went to Princeton High School?
Yeah, they would say that they lived with their aunt and uncle who lived in Princeton because their parents would want them to get a better education. They would be like, go to Princeton. Mm-hmm. But it's like, they're still not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of like a weird issue. Like in central New Jersey in the 90s, again, it does feel like it's a weird thing to be like, no, for real. But it's like, I don't know. I got fucking jumped, dude. I mean, that I don't have to imagine what it would have been like in a different suburb.
Yeah, no, I never got jumped.
Yeah. But no, I know. Kids from New Jersey would routinely tell you that at Excel.
Yeah.
And be like, you really don't understand. There's like a whole world out there where there's like consequences for talking the way that you do. And from people like me, not me, but the guy telling you this, who is also dead. So I guess we could,
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. That was the process of me learning that. Like when I got to Excel, I was like, it's probably good. I don't like that environment, dude. It's not for me, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be hard. I'm just saying.
You think if you moved back now, people would beat you up a lot?
I think no, obviously, but I don't like it up there. Like I
probably would get into fights over parking spaces more.
Yeah, like when I go up there, I do get in more confrontations, and I've noticed. I don't know if it's like an autistic person thing, but like I have been in New York City, like as an adult, I was meeting my brother to go to a Knicks game and trying to find where Madison Square Garden is after I got off the train, which maybe let me out underneath it. Like it's the most touristy.
It's where Penn Station is.
Yeah. That's. I think that's right. Yeah. So I'm out there looking to see where I'm meeting my brother or whatever. And I make eye contact with a guy.
I do recall the first time I had to navigate that. I did have a tough time with it.
Well, it's a lot going on, dude. And I'm saying I made eye contact with the guy for longer than he would have preferred. And he was wearing a suit. He was a Long Island finance bro. And he's uses the same slur that Jack Nicholson used, not in the cool way that Dirt Nasty reclaimed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's what the fuck are you? And I was just that was, and I had the other incident that I told you where the homeless guy and I got into it. Last time I was up there.
Yeah.
It's it does happen a lot, dude. I get into fucking confrontations up there a lot. I think because I don't know, dude. I think people are aggressive more up there. That doesn't happen to me down here.
I think they are more aggressive, but
or maybe I get worked up more up there.
Yeah, it's not you've certainly been there more. I don't know. You indicate that you don't go to New York very often.
I don't.
I've probably been 3 times, 4 times.
I've been more than that.
Okay,
dude.
yeah.
But every time I go there,
since Excel,
there's a confrontation, dude. Yeah.
I lived there as a youth.
Right.
No, I lived in Warwick. It's very far away.
Okay. I hit New York City up with Excel kids and got in a confrontation where a guy
Tell me more.
called us Bridge and Tunnel, dude. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I am, dude. So what? You were fucking born in Manhattan, dude? I hate people who are like from Kansas and move to New York when they're 25.
I hate people who are like native Manhattanites that say it.
Yeah,
like,
there are very few of those these days.
I know. But I'm just like, what's the point?
Yeah, dude, what is this fucking Saturday Night Fever? Like, is that really supposed to hurt my feelings? I was more just like mad that somebody is like, I know someone once, this is a corporate saying, but I really like it. This is a woman who was like, her supervisor was kind of a bully. And she was like a strong woman nonetheless. And so she was also like, it's kind of a catch-22 when someone's trying to bully you. If you're like, it doesn't bother, I'm not even going to acknowledge it, then a bully's getting away with bullying. But you also don't want to be like, I'm a bitch, I'm getting bullied.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so she was just like,
familiar with the dynamic.
Definitely. Yeah. And so her way around it was saying, I can recognize and identify like bullying behavior without feeling bullied. So I'm just going to say that's bullying behavior. Obviously, you got to wake up earlier in the morning to bully me, but like I know what you're doing. And I feel like that's applicable there. I forgot why I was talking about that. Why are we
bridge
talking
and
about
tunnel.
That? Yeah, the bridge and tunnel shit. That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, I recognize that you are fucking getting your MFA at NYU or whatever, and you want to like look cool in front of your little friends. But like, I don't actually feel bad that I don't have status in NYU MFA world, but I recognize that this punk bitch is coming at me because I'm from New Jersey. And maybe that is why I get in more confrontations up there. I mean, but maybe Dallas doesn't have a culture of coming at people, you know, just because they crossed the bridge to get to some bar in New York City, dude.
I mean, it's not like outsiders have universally fared well here.
That is true, dude. Are you talking about JFK?
I am.
Yeah, that's true.
Something to consider.
That is true, dude. Where was Oswald from?
New Orleans?
Yeah? Okay.
I think so.
I know he bounced around some. But
yeah.
I can't
spent time in Russia.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I can't rule out that he's from here for real, right?
I mean, he certainly, you know, it's not like you killed him here by mistake. Like, he lived here.
Yeah.
He lived in Oak Cliff. I may have a friend who lives across the way and I've been to the
crib.
There's a photo of him holding a rifle. You ever see that photo?
In the backyard. Well, doctored photo, clearly. Where it's like his head's weird or whatever.
Okay. But yeah, that backyard, I've been in that. I've smoked a joint in that backyard.
Damn, dude. Well, and the movie theater is still popping too, right?
Of course.
Yeah. It's pretty tight.
The officer that got shot at the movie theater, Officer
J.D. Tippett.
He stopped in to a record store across the street, like to make a call.
Okay.
Like I think to call in that he thought he'd seen Oswald.
Oh shit.
And you know, it's one of those family members that like seems liable. Like it's not outside the question that they would embellish a story to put themselves at the center of it. But Megan's uncle says that he was the one working the counter whenever Tippett stopped in. And he asked him if he could use the phone.
Dang.
And minutes later, he was dead.
Fuck.
By the bullets of a man who shot JFK.
So they say. Where do you come down on that?
I think we've been over this, but...
we have?
I have not read the whole book. One day I will. Then I'll be prepared to have these conversations. I do own the book.
Okay.
But I ascribe to the theory put forward in Bonar Meninger's Mortal Error.
Okay.
Which is that Oswald acted alone, and whenever he fired his shot from the sixth floor,
just ringing a bell.
Secret Service agent on the car trailing reflexively jumped.
Jeez.
I will grant that, of course, it sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
But whenever you put together some of the physical evidence, you have a difficult time explaining it any other way.
So you think Oswald was just a nut? Like not prompted by any CIA, anything? He just fully acted alone?
I think that's where the evidence points, but like I will never, and I hope no one will feel certainty about that.
Yeah.
There's a tweet, I retweeted it because I really liked it.
Okay.
This week where a guy was like, Crazy period, the 1960s. Every single left leader gets killed. What do you think? And then it turns out all of them just coincidences. And then, get this, totally unanticipated, politics becomes far more reactionary and right-leaning as a result.
Very true.
Who would ever think such a thing could occur? What a funny accident of history.
Well, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, is that what you think?
I'm saying I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
I know that there is not like a strong slam dunk case out there that the CIA trained Oswald and placed him there, or whoever, I'm just acknowledging that there's a lot of things in this world that we sometimes do not know. Yeah. Sometimes we'll never know.
What about Stephen Paddock? Why'd he do it, dude?
Don't get me started.
I don't know, dude.
Don't wind me up about Paddock.
I'm saying he's from here, right? Or Mesquite?
I mean, it's yes and no. He lived in Mesquite, Nevada.
I thought he lived in Mesquite, Texas.
I think he did.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it was Mesquite, but like it was something. It might be, but he also did live in Mesquite, Nevada. Like whenever people are like Mesquite man.
Like now I'm like, why are you trying to throw me off, dude? He lived in Mesquite, Texas, dude. He
lived in the Dallas suburbs. I'm not granting that it was Mesquite.
What's going on?
What do you mean?
It's the 2 mass shooters from Mesquite in like 5 years.
Who's the other one?
Isn't the guy that shot the cops from Mesquite?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I just told you worked with my friend with the
That's
sandwich
why
shop.
I figured you would know.
No.
I thought he's from Mesquite too. I'm just saying.
I mean, when I drive around it seems like a place to produce multiple horrors.
Mesquite?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Garland. It looks like East Dallas. No?
I agree that it looks like Garland.
Come on now.
Which also feels like an affront to God.
It depends where you are, I think.
It doesn't depend that much.
But, dude, I read that they might do King of the Hill remake.
Live action?
No, but like that would be something, dude.
A live action
That would be
one?
freakish, dude. I'm picturing like what Hank Hill would look like as a real person.
It would suck.
Yeah, that would be very bad.
You think they're going to make more?
I read that they were like trying to make it, but it's set in today. Like they're going to like they did with Roseanne. I would watch that, dude.
Oh, of course.
That's like the first show in a while where I would be like,
Judge.
Yeah, well, I've never watched like he made other shows since then that I've never fully. I guess Silicon Valley.
I liked Silicon Valley.
Yeah, I liked it when it came out.
I watched the new episodes of Beavis and Butthead. I enjoyed them.
Yeah, they were good. He had some show though. Oh, I think they were good. It was called Good. The Good Family. Goode.
I must have missed that.
Yeah, I feel like I missed that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude. All right. You want to talk cheesesteak?
Yeah, convince me that it was afternoon.
Well, dude, I guess, as a prelude, I'm just saying. So the kitchen was getting better, and it was like such a sea change of how much better the kitchen had gotten with the cheesesteaks, especially cheesesteaks and like the pizzas. Because Hack worked at Pizza Hut, which you think like, oh, Pizza Hut, they don't teach you. What do they teach you? How to heat up a fucking pizza?
I mean, maybe you would say that.
How to make it DiGiorno, basically,
As a veteran myself, I would not.
Okay, then. Yeah.
To give this kind of.
So you worked at Pizza
Hut? Domino's.
Domino's, okay. I don't know if Hack worked, which one he worked at, but it was one of those. So he brought in several innovations. One, the sawdust type stuff.
Yeah.
He invented for Excel, using that for the pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
Just different kinds of toppings, like setting out the dough overnight or whatever to let it rise and shit. All of that was new techniques. And it was like making life better. Like on the weekends, the meals were getting materially better.
I don't know that I can remember eating pizza there.
This was all in a beginning era, dude. That's what I'm saying. This was an era of experimentation, an era of new possibilities.
Why'd they take pizza off the table?
I don't know. Well, maybe because it honestly wasn't the best thing they made. But they were trying new things. The pizzas didn't all come out perfect. And it's like, there's a lot you have to do. But they were improvements to like life at Excel.
What was it like whenever it was bad?
It was a lot of like Stouffer's lasagna getting reheated.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah, dude. Turkey tetrazzini was the whole meal was turkey tetrazzini. It's just like a foil tin, you buy for $3 at Kroger or whatever. Just
What?
heat up 40 of them. And then,
What?
I'm telling you, dude, it was not tight, dude. The food sucked.
I mean, for one, I disagree with the idea Stouffer's is not tight.
It wasn't Stouffer's, but it's that vibe, dude. Mexican lasagna was one of them.
They would just
That was
feel like
one
we
they
could
hit you
unwrap
with.
some stuff.
For sure.
Like, how did they have the oven space to make?
They were just a lot of them in and out. And there weren't as many kids. You got to remember.
Yeah,
and
no,
then they would make like breadsticks a lot. They would do breadsticks with it and salad. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It fucking sucked. You had 2 meals that were good. You had tacos and fajitas. So it was like on alternating Wednesdays, or maybe like one on Wednesday, one on Friday.
Taco Wednesday makes sense.
Sure, exactly. Exactly. And those are like considered like the best meals. Taco Wednesday and fajita Monday. Just kidding, dude. I think it was fajita Friday.
Okay, good.
But it was like these are lunch meals. And so I'm saying when cheesesteaks first came, they were considered the best meal at Excel, as far as I remember, at the time.
I don't know if they ever got topped.
Okay. So imagine when they first showed up after an era of like only reheated Stouffer's. And then you got fucking Jake Hack on the 1s and 2s, plus other people in the kitchen. Not trying to disrespect y'all, but I'm just saying he showed up as the era started changing. And so cheesesteaks were balling out, dude. They were a huge deal. Everyone looked forward to them. It was like almost a special occasion, but we had them all the time. And it was like the kitchen's clout was through the roof, had never been higher, because they were like the bringers of the cheesesteaks.
It's not like, no contraband flowed through our kitchen, so I don't want to emphasize that part. But I'm always impressed by how well Orange is the New Black captured that dynamic.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean,
Like,
some contraband flew.
It was a big deal. Oh, through the kitchen?
It seemed like. Isn't that where they were like fermenting all the shit, like, and doing the banana peels? Or am I conflating the two?
I'm not saying the
two
kitchen never did
scenes.
that, but I think that you're conflating somewhat.
I mean, it definitely wasn't like a hub of illicit contraband coming through. That didn't really happen.
There's, like in Orange is the New Black, that kind of thing of like
If you wanted heroin,
delivery driver bringing in illegal
yeah,
drugs.
Fuck no.
They had an odd and very awesome relationship with the delivery driver. Do you remember that?
I mean, you're gonna have to get more specific.
They like
there are different eras of different delivery drivers.
I think his name was Jose.
Okay, that's ringing a bell now that you mention it.
And like just in general, they would like fucking whoop and clap whenever he showed up. But I remember a kid, and I think he might listen. Made a fucking Jose would have the cart. Like to unload the delivery truck.
Yeah.
He had like a dolly.
The dolly.
And
He
so
had a little ramp.
He decorated one of the kids decorated the ramp with like Jose and like some stuff on it. Like,
that's hilarious.
It was a special like fucking
I'm sure Jose loved it.
Bedazzled ramp.
I'm sure it was Jose's favorite stop.
I'll bet it was.
All these weirdo kids are cheering for you.
Yeah.
Like, Jose, dude. Yeah. Dude, that reminds me.
How many places like knew his fucking name and were like, hell yeah,
just
it's
loved
Jose.
him, dude. Well, dude, anybody who came on campus regularly, do you remember Fabio?
Yes.
Dude, exactly.
Why
dude.
was he there? But I do.
Fabio refilled the vending machines.
Okay.
And he had long hair.
He had long hair.
He
That
had a
was the whole
ponytail.
thing. Yeah.
But it was just like, that's fucking Fabio, dude. Like, if you saw Fabio at lunch, you would probably tell someone.
Yeah.
You'd be like, hey, yeah, Fabio came through this morning.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. Like, Jose, just like, the kids who got to be there when Jose dropped stuff off is probably the highlight of their day.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
just the fact that he got to put in fucking orders is pretty tight.
Well, dude, and that was all new. Like, I think the girl who ran the kitchen was the most like beaten down by Jamie when I first got there, in terms of like how much assertiveness was going on in the kitchen leadership. Mm-hmm. So I don't think she felt that she could be like, let's order this, let's order this, let's order this. But I think when Jake showed up and other people, they started getting more staff being like, good job, you're doing good with the kitchen. And then they were like,
and
well, we could do this, blah, blah, blah.
Dude, that's like a very blurry, like Hack and Dino.
Oh, yeah.
Like in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like Dino felt like he had things to learn from Hack.
I mean, definitely, it was very. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to hear what you mean by that, but I think I agree with that dynamic at times. I mean, the
Like
kitchen
one was
boys
a
were
staff
very,
member, one was like whatever. But I think that like, like if Jamie had been like clear headed about the whole thing and observing like the two of them every time they were around together,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she would have had a lot of feedback for Dino about how he needed to kind of
set
control.
the tone. Who's setting the tone?
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
Hack sent. I mean, I just think
Setting the tone was a big.
I think Hack was a stronger personality than certainly most of the people I've ever met in my entire life, and I would
yeah,
think
he
I
was a
would
very strong
include
personality.
Dino in that group.
Yeah, definitely.
Like that he was saying under his spell with like like I have nothing wrong. Like I think Hack's amazing. I think everything he did was great.
Yeah.
Like I don't think he's a nefarious influence in people's lives. You know what I mean? Like, but it was that he set the tone. Like, I don't want to say under the spell because that would imply
Dude,
that like Hack was,
Well, anytime there's a group, I don't know, dude. Girls are
it would
different.
imply that he was a witch.
Well, is that a reference to? Do they say that in the vid?
Just under his spell? Nah, no, I'm just saying.
I thought it sounded like somebody would like say it in the Crucible or something like. It would imply that he's a witch, sir, like or some shit like that.
No.
No, I mean, anytime there's a group of guys, usually, almost, obviously this podcast is the exception. There can be two
ahead.
alphas.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they're usually in the group. There's somebody who's kind of like the top dude, like we talked about, I think off air, the number one guy concept. Jackson on Vanderpump Rules wants to be the number one guy. Gets mad when a new guy comes in, acting like he's the number one guy.
Yeah.
He clearly doesn't understand.
Yeah, I've kind of always been the number one guy.
I think most guys, yeah, exactly, yeah. And most kids at Excel, a lot, or at least a lot of the guys, I think their problem was they were acting like the number one guy too much, like in places where they weren't maybe the number one guy.
Yeah, but I think that there were very few groups that Hack was in his life where he was not the number one guy.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I would say that plenty of the times that Dino was in groups with him, that remained true.
Like Dino wanted to remain in Hack's good favor more than Hack. Hack was aware that he was the dispenser of approval.
Like to some extent.
Yeah, I agree.
Which, fully. One of them could have redshirted the other and it wasn't Hack,
If Dino got Hack redshirted, it would have fucked Dino up for years at Excel.
I think you're right.
Like he would have lost so much sway with so many kids.
Oh, you mean that? I just mean that he personally, probably would not have liked that.
He wouldn't have. Oh, definitely he wouldn't have. And Hack and his boys would have made sure of it. Because Dino liked being like
it's
the
not
kind
like
of trusted, cool staff member.
Yeah, but I mean, he was with them. I don't think that he was overall.
What do you mean?
A trusted, cool staff member?
No, but he liked being like one of the guys.
Yeah.
Like he liked getting along.
No, he wanted to be in their group.
Yeah,
It
definitely.
seemed like a cool group to him.
It mattered to him if they thought he was cool or not. It seemed to me.
I would agree.
And I don't think he cared if he thought me and my friends thought he was cool.
I would also agree with that.
I really don't.
Never got the sense he was trying to take my temperature.
Yeah, ever. Like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Okay, so the cheesesteaks were a huge deal, dude. They didn't just roll them out for some rando weekday dinner. It was like they cooked them at lunchtime, and then they were out on burners on every table. And so what I remember as the cheesesteak day is like we're at the I'm in the lodge. I think I'm in the lunch prep period before lunch. So I'm in there when everything's getting set up. Mm-hmm. I'm one of the first people in the lodge. Mm-hmm. The tables are set. The burners are out. They have it's like a catered meal would look like. You know what I mean?
I have eaten the lunches
warmers,
at Excel
the
before.
warmers. I'm saying for the listener, with the fucking, you turn on the fucking, right? Didn't they?
Yeah.
It was like steam powered warmers.
Yeah.
And people are coming in, and the way lunch works is everyone comes in and sits at their table.
There was another evolution once they got the equipment to move away from using steamers as much. Not for what you're talking about, but sometimes they would have to do a part of the lunch that was going to be served at noon. They would have to finish it by 10 so they could do the rest of it.
By 10 a.m.
And so they would put that in a big thing of warmers in the back that was all steam warmers. Uh-huh. And that steaming, it takes the flavor out of food.
Yeah.
So that was, I just recall that. I think that they moved to having more ovens. Like they got new and different kinds of ovens.
Okay.
And so like they could keep stuff hot in the oven a little more than the steamer.
Well, that's what I'm saying with like the cheesesteaks, because they're super time sensitive. That's why I think it was a big deal to get them out for lunch. It was like you cooked them in like the hour before lunch.
Yeah.
And then, so it was like, you got all the meat out or whatever, but it was like pretty hectic. And then you get it out. And I don't know, I think it was the steam era, but it may have been when they went to like the other, I don't know if they ever did. I'm now picturing like the little small flame powered ones.
No.
But,
and I'm not talking about in the preparation. Like you're talking about because they had steamers that were like in the dining part of the lodge.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the steamers that were in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So whenever they stopped having to use those steamers in the kitchen and instead could keep food in the kitchen warm in the oven, because they bought new ovens. That was a big leap forward.
No doubt. Yeah. True. So we're all out there, and you go into lunch and you stand in front of your plate. And then the way it normally works is Miss Nancy, because it's a school day.
Depends, but yeah.
Well, if it's a school day, it's Miss Nancy.
No, I just mean
this era.
The thing you're describing of how lunch was served was not true the whole time.
All right. Well, it's definitely true of the thing I'm recalling.
Sure. I know.
Yeah. So
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just adding.
No. It's definitely like why I remember it as lunch. Like, because all of this stuff is specific to lunch. Dinner didn't work this way. Like, you didn't go ever sit in front of your plate until you said your prayer before, because we had to say a prayer before, like, we would start eating. You know what I mean? And there was like, people are starting to pile in, and for some reason, somebody goes to like make a plate, like before we get started. I don't know if it's like to take food to somebody, like in the corner, like maybe you could make. If someone was on a punishment sitting in the corner, someone had to bring them food for the listener. So maybe someone was doing that. All I remember is that is the exact moment when I realized something was about to go down big time, because somebody went to make a plate and Jamie was there. And she was like, don't even worry about that. Like, she didn't say it like that, but she was like, what are you doing? Someone's like, I'm making a plate. And she's like, not going to need it. Don't do that. Don't, like, she said it like that. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
You were so fucked up if you thought what was happening here was eating lunch. Like, get the fuck out of my face. Like,
which, we're in the lunchroom at the time they normally serve lunch, lady.
Yeah. And it's like the best meal anyone has had in years. Like, and it's the mood is good at the school. That's how good cheesesteaks were. Morale was higher, like overall, for like days. Like, they were such an improvement.
It just mattered so much. And I mean, I've talked with friends who have this experience at home, so I don't want to say it's like singular, but it felt singular to me. Just the way that knowing, because you could find out pretty easily, ask someone in the kitchen what food was going to be served that day. Really, they had the whole week planned, you could see it if you wanted to. And, dude, cheesesteak days, fucking taco days, it's just a different level. And then I remember that a little bit, but like what's really seared in the memory is just fucking chef salad days. When I knew that the only sustenance I was getting on this fucking Sunday was going to be like fucking deli meat and like the bad parts of lettuce, which like I hate lettuce anyways.
Yeah, what was the deal with Chef Salad Day? That's a holdover.
It blew.
See, that's like more from that era I'm talking about, of just like, what is going on here?
Sucked so fucking bad.
It's just like Lunchables and bad lettuce.
Yeah.
Pretty sick, honestly.
No.
That's funny, man. I think there was some meals, dude.
Because they had cold cuts days where like you would have lunch meat with
also
bread.
Also disgusting. I did not like those
Yeah,
days.
no, and it'd be like, well, this
so
sucks.
Gross.
And then sometimes they'd be like, what if we do it without the bread? Like, no.
And instead, bad lettuce.
Yeah. Please don't do that.
There were some meals, dude. The Frito pie meal was disgusting to me.
You remember Grandma's surprise?
No. What the fuck?
Your boy, the one who poured coffee on pancakes.
Okay.
You remember when he was involved in the kitchen?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Beautiful time.
My dog, dude.
The
peanut butter spoon era,
love his
dude.
spirit.
Do you know about the peanut butter spoon?
I have to, but go ahead. Lay it on me.
I mean, he just at all times in the back pocket of his pants had a spoon, and he would just like routinely just go in there and scoop it out, dude.
That sounds good.
Big no.
That is a big no.
Eating while you prepare food. If you got caught like just dipping in the supplies, there's big problems, man.
Oh yeah.
There was because the dorms were in the kitchen. Like when I first got there, so there were kids who would like sneak into the pantry, dude. A lot of kids, a lot of parents who adopted like kids from Russia or like kids from orphanages. That's a big thing. I think it's because they've never felt like food secure. Like in the middle of the night, they'll just like gorge. Like the parents, like you read about it, like
I did that when I was a kid.
Not like these kids, I think.
Okay,
like,
sure.
I think these kids have to like go to the hospital and shit.
All right.
Like, I mean, maybe. I don't know your business.
No, I didn't.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is like.
But you're talking about sneaking down the middle of the night to go like eat things from the pantry.
Dude, I do that twice a week.
That's not really you're sneaking. You're in your own home.
No, I don't.
Who's
sneak.
stopping?
Yeah, I'm just up.
Go ahead.
But no, I'm saying there were kids at Excel who would sneak and get busted for eating like midnight pantry trips. Which is funny to me to think about because we were not connected to the food for that long. So it's just like this weird era where the kids were like little raccoons.
Yeah, no, it would have taken quite some work.
Yeah.
Most of the time I was there.
There were kids, I think, that snuck food back to the dorms every now and then. And we get in trouble for that.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it was rare because it wasn't really the move.
It'd be a weird thing to do.
Yeah. But anyway, so cheesteak was so sick, dude. And that's what I'm saying. So she came in and was like, don't even fucking touch it. And then the whole school never got to sit down. So we all come in for lunch and we're all still sitting in front of our plates. And it's the era when it's 4 long tables in the lodge. Not like the little family like quadrants or like the tea setup tables or whatever. Just 4 long tables. And I remember I was sitting at the one in the middle, closest to the door. I was sitting by the door. And the lights were off when she first came in because like lights didn't come on until like the meal started. And it was just like an eerie vibe. Like lights off in the lodge, but Jamie's in there always fucked me up. Because it was like,
it's not good.
There's a predator in the room, dude. Like we need the lights on, man. Like, and then she just like went, I don't remember what we did, but she went off on the whole school. We were all so hungry and we had to sit there smelling the cheese sticks. And just not eating them, and we were starving.
There had to be a point in your head where you like knew, like they're probably not even good now.
I remember at like 12:45, I was like, dude, even if we do get to eat them, they're gonna suck. But I was like, we're not eating them. Like it's not happening, dude. And then I think we went outside and had to do exercises. And then like I might be conflating. Because I think it's the day when we had to do the POW position, like hands above your head, you're kneeling on your knees on the rocky asphalt, which was super fucked up. Yeah. Like that can make you bleed and shit. Like I think I'm conflating them. But either way, it went from like everybody gets yelled at. I think Jamie threw food on the floor at some point, like to assert that we're not going to eat it. Then we go exercise like until we throw up whatever we can. And then like later we end up eating tuna fish and we're all in trouble. And then we go to bed. That's the basic outline of cheesteak incident in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, there just might have been 2 different days because, there certainly differs in important details. And maybe it's not cheesteaks that was served on the night that I'm thinking of. I think it was, but
What are you? Yeah, you're thinking of a night, clearly.
Oh, I'm 100% it was a night.
Yeah. And I feel like whatever incident I've relayed, it was a lunch. It whatever you just said.
At least half of your time I wasn't there. So,
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
All very plausible.
Like, we may just be talking about completely different incidents.
So they had, children would not do their own individual laundry.
Right.
Over the course of time, like once they built like a building between the office and the Quonset hut that included a larger laundry facility.
That ruled.
But prior to that, there was just a room in the lodge that had several washing machines in it.
Right.
And that was right there. I mean, it was a clear step down from kitchen, but it was like another position of authority, you know, like it had some hierarchy, like
Yes.
you had responsibilities, and so you wanted to have that job to some extent. I mean, there's plenty of kids who probably, if you told them you got to do laundry, they'd be pissed off about it. But like, you know, it was a fiefdom. Like you got to spend more time. You got to spend time in the laundry room, like all day in the laundry room, because you know, in order to get all these kids' clothes done.
Yeah, I think that era when it was that room you just described, that was when laundry was becoming a status job. Because there was a time when they like told me I had to run laundry, and I don't remember being like, "Fuck yeah!" But
I mean, there's people that did it that didn't like it, but
yeah, well,
it did mean that you got to be away from the direct eyes of authority for longer stretches than most kids did, and some people that was quite important.
And if you had a good crew with, like, if you were with your boys, like if your shadow was good or like whatever, it was like you could have fun in the laundry. Dude, just you're chilling with your boys folding T-shirts, dude. It's really not hard. It's fun as fuck.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had good times in the laundry room.
And so, this is a stage where I don't think that I was on shadow.
Okay.
This is probably the end of my freshman year. It could have been the beginning of my sophomore year, which is, you know, I mean, I was there for 4 years. I would say for the first... Might be full too. It might have been like my junior year before they really started, like, just because a lot of it was like, and I've mentioned this before, but like, you know, they're not going to have a 16-year-old watch an 18-year-old. And like, I was 16, you know, like I was 15 for like my first year there. So they weren't going to like put a bunch of shadows, like they weren't going to give me complicated assignments.
Right.
Even if they didn't like think that I needed direct supervision myself.
Right.
So it was just a long time. Like most people, not most, but it was common enough that like once you weren't being shadowed yourself, within like a month or two, you would start shadowing people.
Right.
And for me, that period was like a year, like probably longer than a year.
Okay.
Because, you know, whatever. And
because you were so young.
Yeah, because like, well, who are they going to tell me to watch?
Right.
And so, and I mean, you know, like I had done nothing to really stand out to them as someone who was ready to carry their message, you know? Like I was just,
right.
For the time that I was being shadowed, it did not really occur to me that the rules could be broken. Like, it seemed like if you were going to talk about the kind of music that you liked or tell stories about your friends, that someone was going to report you for that.
Right.
And so I didn't know that like people did it, to be honest.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And then I got into the laundry room.
Okay.
And so...
Dang, so this is like...
I was not being shadowed. The guy who ran the laundry room had a shadow. I think I remember who his shadow was. It was all kind of an informal thing, though, because like all of us would just hang out in the laundry room.
Yeah.
It was the three of us, and like because it was the laundry room and it was like a larger physical space.
Yeah.
That would always be a family that like had a couple extras.
For
so,
sure.
Like, that's how I would get glommed in there, and then there'd be a couple other kids, and they just didn't like mixing it up that much. Like even whenever they were rewriting the whole family list,
yeah,
they wouldn't change the laundry room one that much. Like the laundry room and kitchen were kind of static.
Yeah,
and that was another part about what was cool about that is that you kind of had like you really sort of did have a friend group. Like those laundry guys,
boys, dude.
Well, the kitchen guys, like they never got split up. You know, like. Hack and Lee were together. Like, Hack and Lee were in a family together. What would you say? Like 90% of the time that they were there? And who else was that true of?
If they weren't, it
practically
was because
no one.
They did some weird technicality where there were two families that were kitchen families.
Yes.
Hack and Lee each led one.
Yeah.
Constantly intermingling them. Like,
but yeah, whereas
they were a unit.
If it was just you, like sometimes they would split you up from your boys, like in a
all
family.
All the time.
Member. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
I had no tasks except like writing emails for Jamie. Like I had no
those
group
are their own
activities.
tasks. But laundry, you know, it was kind of a similar thing where like you could have
for sure.
a bit of a crew.
Dude, laundry was cool. Laundry was fun.
And yeah, no, I mean these are probably the most fun times I have. I mean, whatever. Things are different, but this was certainly an era I look back on. It's like I made some real connections with some people there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't talk to any of them now, but like I kind of wish I did. You know what I mean? Like there's some cool guys.
I still fold t-shirts the way, actually Zach of all people taught me to fold t-shirts. And I still do them the way he taught me. It's the best way.
I just don't fold t-shirts, dude. Hang them up. You own a fucking house.
No, dude. What are you hanging t-shirts for?
Hang every t-shirt I own.
No, I don't hang t-shirts, dude. I fold them, put them in a drawer.
No, they'll get creases.
They're cotton shirts, dude. The crease goes away in like 2 seconds.
Not acceptable.
You're nuts, man. It
was torture for me that we had to like fold them and put them in the thing. I was like, never again.
Wow,
I'm gonna get a home large enough to hang all of my t-shirts.
If it has a collar, I hang it. I think that's my main. Do you hang sweaters?
I mean, I just only own like 4 things that have collars. Yeah, I hang sweaters.
I think that makes the sweater lose its shape. We're
gonna have to live with that.
The knit. Don't you want a sweater?
How many fucking sweaters do you think I own, dude?
I don't know. How many you got?
I got my joke chicken sandwich sweater. That's the end of the list.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not a huge problem. I still have, my closets are small and they still look like I fucking go to court every day, which has never been true ever in my life. But it's all like old, like fucking suit clothes. I got to figure that out. Anyway.
Yeah, so we were having a good time. You could talk about any kind of music. You could sing your songs.
Yeah. It's so funny that was what was like so cool to do, but it was, dude.
This was a time where I started really it's difficult to describe my mindset before this period. Like because I hadn't seen any of the cracks in the authoritarian facade they were putting up.
So literally,
I bought it entirely.
You got there. They told you cannot talk about any music except oldies, basically.
And then, I tried it a couple times and people brought me up.
And yeah, you never saw that could ever be anything but true. You're like, this seems to be the case at this place. This is an environment that is devoid of discussion.
Because there was always a kid in any dynamic that was assigned to be the one to enforce the rules.
Right.
And all the shadows I had while I was being shadowed, took that responsibility seriously.
Right.
But there were a group of kids who were duplicitous to the staff.
Right.
And, I would say, I'm not here to, say that they did wrong or that it was bad. It gave me great relief in my life to be under their care.
Yeah.
And, I think they were, they weren't being true to the staff, but they were being more true to themselves than
I was going to say,
people.
It's an act of trust to let a new person into the negative contract. That's what they would call it, a negative contract.
Yeah.
But it was a positive contract of we can trust each other. So I think a lot of times what it was because when you were saying there were only certain kids that broke the rules, I was or it could have been no one wanted to break the rules with you because you hadn't been long-term around anyone that much.
Because there were people that were any new kid is at default suspected of breaking the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
And so if you break the rules around them, you're probably going to get caught. If you're if it's, if it were I think I heard TC and Alex saying something when both of us were, respected members in good standing.
You could literally be you heard it wrong.
Yeah.
And that would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was Alex and one of the new kids, then it's Jesus fucking Christ, Alex.
Yeah, definitely.
This is one of the impressionable ones.
Definitely. And that's why I think the laundry area kitchen too fostered that kind of freer environment. Because
it was rare that new kids would get assigned to either of those.
You wouldn't put a new kid there. I mean, occasionally, I guess, if they were considered an easy new kid.
And if they vibed with Hack.
Yeah. Oh, in the kitchen. Yeah. I'm thinking more laundry is not a place for new kids. They didn't put new kids in the laundry that much, I don't think. But yeah, it needed to be it would either be a very young kid or a kid where they needed a bigger shadow on him, and it was just throw him to the kitchen boys. They'll keep him in line at least. Because it was rare that the people in the kitchen crew acted out beyond a certain level. Because it was kind of the kitchen boys were bro, don't fuck the kitchen shit up for us. So they were rage out kids in the kitchen.
I mean, Lee caused plenty of problems.
Yeah, and it sounds like he really went off like after I left. Like I know he caused problems when I was there, but like being the first kid to walk out and stuff,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
I mean, you're well aware he had a temper.
I know, dude. Well,
And,
that's
like,
why, dude. You have no idea.
Times when just fucking the top was off.
That's why I'm saying
Like,
he was telling you the truth when he was like, you know,
I never doubted him for a second.
You're gonna get fucked up eventually.
I mean, I doubted that was true. Whenever he said, like, I used to beat the shit out of kids like you all the time, which he would say to me often.
Yeah, I think he was telling the truth.
I think he was telling the truth.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But whenever he says, if you keep talking this way, you're gonna get popped, I don't think he was true, and my experience is pointing that out.
Oh, like he didn't actually punch you.
Well, he didn't, and no one else has either.
Yeah.
And I talk back to people all the time.
Do you talk to strangers?
If I need to, absolutely.
Yeah. That's cool.
I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah.
But
I feel like I'm
not gonna
constantly
be
in danger
disrespected.
of being in a physical confrontation where I'm having to defuse a situation. I feel like people are out here trying to get in fights all the time, dude. That's why I'm like, how has no one smacked you yet if you're not defusing? But I don't know.
No.
Anyway.
We all know that there's like rules around parking spots. Like if we understand,
I know, but I'm saying like, I don't know. I feel like I'm constantly being like, what are you doing in your parking spot? And then somebody's like, I have a gun in my car. And then I have to be like, I didn't mean anything by that. You know what I mean?
It's never happened to me. I don't know.
I know. That's what it sounds like. You're also, it's harder to fight you, I think, because I wouldn't want to smack you.
Yeah, I mean, no.
You were smaller when Lee was saying it to you, though.
Yeah, no. I always wonder about whenever we've had like the first lunch, like whenever you were like, yo, I live in Dallas, let's get lunch. As I was standing there waiting for you at the lunch, I'm like, is he even going to recognize me? Like,
yeah, I know, man.
I'm literally double in size of what I was as
yeah.
I don't think I'm any taller.
You were not this tall when you went to Excel. That's impossible, dude.
I mean, I'm sure that I grew some.
You grew a lot. I remember you as small, dude. Like, you were maybe 5, 7, 8, maybe, but skinny as fuck.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. When I left, I had to get a physical for a college. I don't know if all colleges do that. I don't think they do.
I did.
Okay, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got a physical for college, and at that physical, I weighed 136.
Damn.
And I would say 240, 250 is more where we're like usually sitting most of the time in my adult life.
Yeah.
And really, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things. It's hard to peg. Like, I got family members who are this size and larger, and I think that their experience a lot of times was that metabolism slowed down around 18. I think my dad's metabolism slowed down a good bit around 18, and he just, I mean, whenever I got out of Excel is whenever he started like running marathons, and so he's not a large man. He runs marathons.
Okay.
So, I'm just saying, like, the idea that my metabolism would change at this, like, point in my life is not outside of the question. I want to be honest and upfront about that. But whenever we were at Excel, as we're describing, like, we were not setting the menu. If you were preparing food, like, if you ate food at a time when everyone else wasn't eating, like, it was a big problem. The idea that you could, like, walk in and make yourself a sandwich, like, you would get in giant fucking trouble if you made yourself a sandwich.
Yeah, unless you had it like that. But that was why the kitchen was such a flex. And this may have been before your time. I don't mean to derail your point to that point. But there was a point when the kitchen was hooking people up with themselves. They would make themselves breakfast sandwiches every morning. Like, the rest of the school is eating Captain Crunch, dude. And they're making beautiful, like,
Not
biscuit
me, bitch.
and eggs and bacon. Oh, because of your hypoglycemia?
Yeah, for a second. I mean, that's probably where it started. Like, I got to go down and make myself eggs.
They bought more eggs than they needed just for you, for sure.
Yeah.
And Doug Ofke, who we've mentioned, because he was involved in running the kitchen for breakfast.
Yeah, because for a while he would do it, and
he was cool with it. He was like, he was in on the
he
kitchen
liked
boys.
that.
Yeah, definitely. And so I remember, but they started giving out the sandwiches as like, we fuck with you token. But also I felt that it was kind of a like, become corrupted by this practice token so that we all get in trouble or no one does. So they were like giving the strength, some of them, sandwiches. And I remember being like, they offered me one, and I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, in the cop movie, you
Like-
get killed there.
Oh, because like it's like I'm not an undercover. Yeah. Exactly. Well, but they were like directly bribing the cops, basically. And I was like, yeah, I think internal affairs is gonna have to, something to say about this one. Like I was like, I actually think refusing the sandwich is gonna be a pretty good move.
How
for
are they
me.
going to find out, Alex?
Dude, they did. And it
I know they
wasn't for
did,
me.
but
and they had to list
the
anyone.
movie, it tends to be.
Bro, anyone who ate a sandwich got in trouble, dude. And I definitely was like, it was not me, dude. I think I got like a, why didn't you tell on him? You know what I mean? Like one of those. I was like, fucking Doug was making the sandwiches, dude. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah.
I was like, it just, I didn't want to do it. My shadow couldn't have one, it wasn't for me, really. But I was definitely like, I told y'all, dude, this is a bad idea. Like, they flew too close to the sun.
But I found it very frustrating to not be able to eat like the things that I wanted to eat.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And so whenever I got out and like could eat the
I
things
see
that I
what you
wanted
mean.
to eat,
Yeah.
like I did.
Yeah. I think that's normal, dude.
I mean, it's not like, you don't weigh 240.
I've weighed a lot more than I weigh now.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
And when I went to college, definitely they had like you could eat pizza late at night. And I gained probably, I still remember, okay.
I mean, it's 50 pounds my first semester.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not. But I want to say I gained 30 pounds in a year. Because I remember sophomore year, weighing myself in the gym with a couple friends.
Yeah.
And I weighed 163. And I've weighed more than that. I'm not saying that's a huge number. I'm short as fuck though.
Yeah.
But I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. Because I used to be in the 130s. And it was like, dude, I can eat pizza every night if I want. I can eat whatever I want. And it's like, we had been trained to think of food as a reward that could be withheld or given. So it is like, whoa, I'm the rat in the cage now that can press the lever whenever I want.
Yeah.
And I ended up I think I've told you this, when I was a lawyer and traveling a lot, drinking a lot, eating out on the road a lot, I got up to I don't know if I hit 190, but I was in the 180s, which is I'm saying, I know what it's like to hit food hard post-Excel, dude. Plus, they got me, dude. When I got there, I got put on, he has an eating disorder list.
Yeah.
So I had to clean my plate and show a staff member.
Yeah.
And that got all fucked up, dude. Cause
Was there any
did I have one? I mean, is that what you're saying?
Well, why did they do that? Just because you were small?
I
or
think,
was there some your parents were
No,
watch out for him?
No, my parents don't care about, dude. My parents, if I had a real eating disorder, they're dream parents for it. Cause they they're never clean. My dad would be it's not a contest. If you were trying to finish after you were hungry or not after you were satiated.
I think that's a correct attitude.
I fully agree. Yeah. No, a staff member, I just think I am sensitive to food that grosses me out. And a lot of the food, like I've said, was fucking gross as fuck. So I think it was the Frito pie, which was just canned chili poured over Fritos. And it was really gross. And I think I gagged on it or something. And it a staff member was he was trying to make himself throw up, I think. And they were so I got taken off it after a few months.
Thank you for your help there.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a big fear of mine. I always thought if I got put on tuna, that is what would break me. If I really had to eat tuna every meal.
Yeah.
Because it made me seriously throw up. Lee was one of the few people that actually, it was my true Achilles heel. They could have really killed me with it. And Lee knew it, but he never gave it up. It was in 1984, his thing is rats gnawing his face.
Yeah.
That's his one thing. Mine was tuna, dude. It's so disgusting to me. The way they made it. I can make myself vomit just sitting here. And you would get in so much trouble if you vomited. Because they would act like that was a rebellious act.
Yeah.
So that was always a huge
classic
paranoia
manipulation. Throwing up
dude.
everything in your stomach. Have you ever just considered maybe it's difficult for me to keep it down?
Yeah. Or it's so many things. I think I've talked about this. This probably deserves longer, but there was a time when a girl who didn't have an eating disorder but was slim, and Jamie hated her. And she definitely picked on her because she was pretty. Jamie, after like hacking off half of her hair, like in patches off her scalp, I remember like she made her eat so much that the girl threw up onto her plate, and Jamie made her eat that.
No way.
Yeah. I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah. Cause she was like, you're not getting out of this. Like, you still have to clean your plate. Like, and she made her eat her vomit. I'm not kidding, dude. Yes.
I feel like that should have come up before now.
I mean, it's like there's so much. And it didn't happen to me. Like, I just saw it. It was early. But yeah, it was fucked up, dude. That was one of my first, like,
I don't even know how to
getting
react.
worse. Like, she wasn't like that when I first got there. But as she was realizing how much she could get away with and how much power she had, she got worse. And that was a moment of like, she's getting worse. And the restraint era was like, the rise of restraint was another, like, she's getting worse.
Yeah, so we didn't quite get into that.
I know. I don't know. How are we doing on time? I have no idea.
I mean, we're all half done with all like 20 stories, but we're at about 2 hours, so we can call this an episode if you want.
I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah.